Blog Talk Radio.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to Coffee Chat with Camille. Today, our special guest is Asher Laub, and he's an electric violinist, composer, producer, and live performer. His notable music career began with classical violin training at the tender age of 2, leading to his first formal concert with the Buffalo Philharmonic at age 13. Since then, Asher's improvisation expertise across multiple genres has inspired an innovative career as a cutting-edge electric violinist. Asher's engaging soloist performances have taken him to iconic venues such as Madison Square Garden, Hammerstein Hall, Lincoln Center, and the Jacob Javits Center. His diverse multicultural repertoire has garnered acclaim across 4 continents. Asher's high-energy shows have been featured live on PBS and have made headlines on major media outlets such as CNN, WABC, NBC, and the New York Post. He's also left for you, the wonderful audience, a link so you can learn more about him. His link is in the description box here at Coffee Chat with Camille through Blog Talk Radio. And our special guest is on the line, so let me go ahead and let him in to the studio. Yes, let's do this. Hello, Asher. How are you?
Hi. Hi, Camille. How are you?
I'm wonderful. Thank you so much for being our guest today.
Sure. Thanks for having me. What a pleasure.
You're welcome. I want to go ahead and start getting to know you and introducing you more to our audience. So can you please tell me about your background?
Well, I grew up in upstate New York, suburb of Buffalo, and I have 3 other siblings. I'm the second youngest. Two older brothers, 1 younger sister. We're all musicians, and my parents are as well. Not professionally, but we all grew up very young, playing music and going to, starting classical and just loving music, all the genres. And I'm the only one who became a professional musician years later. But that's pretty much where I came from. And now I've been in New York the last 10 years or so. 20 years.
20 years.
New York
Wonderful. City. New York City. Okay. Mm-hmm. And then what brought you to choose this career?
Well, as my wife puts it, I didn't choose it; it chose me. Or I could say that it chose me because it was paying the bills. I did audition to join some bands, club date bands, when I was I'm going to say around senior in high school, beginning of senior when I was anticipating, I was getting prepped to move to New York City for college, and very quickly they accepted me because they saw that I had some unique skills on the violin as an improvisation and classical reader. So that's kind of I'm going to say that happened around 2001, 2002. That's when the career kind of began slowly as I was working through my way through university, and it evolved and turned to a full-time career. Within, I would say, 6-7 years.
Okay, wonderful. And then, who do you look up to professionally?
There are too many people that I admire and have a huge amount of respect for in their musical careers. But I'd say I've always been a fan of Chick Corea and Jean-Luc Ponty. He's been a huge influence on me as a musician, as a violinist, composer. David Garrett, who's he's a big violinist in Europe. There's a whole bunch. Yeah. Joe Venuti.
Okay.
Anyway, I can go down a long list.
Okay, thank you. And then, where do you... I'm sorry, excuse me?
I forgot to mention Bella Fleck. He's like definitely top on my list. Plays mandolin and merges classical and contemporary bluegrass also.
Okay, wonderful. And then, where do you see your career heading?
Where do I see my career heading? Well, at the moment, I'm moving in the direction of where I'd like to go. I'm working pretty hard on building a tour that reflects the original music that I've been producing and sharing with fans across continents. And I'd like to actually meet them in person. So I do concerts here and there across the country, but I haven't done like a string of a full tour, pretty much going from city to city, everything interconnected. I sort of fly places and then come back, and that's kind of where I see my career hopefully heading. But there's the family aspects that kind of keep you closer to home, and you have to choose your gigs wisely, choose your performances wisely, in ways that kind of support the family life to an extent.
Okay, wonderful. And then how did you overcome challenges in your career?
Challenges. Well, I'm assuming you're referring to health challenges. The health challenges.
How did you overcome your health challenges? Sorry about that. Yes.
The health challenges are, well, they started a number of years ago when I have this inflammatory condition that's kind of hampered, slowed or reduced my ability to play effectively, and I lost the ability to play the instrument for a good year or so. I'd say 7-8 years ago. So I had to regain that strength, and when I did it, it kind of helped me reframe things and put life in a different perspective, and it allowed me to reinvent myself as a musician, as I kind of had a change of heart, change of mind with respect to professional outlook.
Okay. And then, because it said that you had to reinvent yourself by becoming a dancing violinist.
Well, that's what I did when I regained the strength to I wasn't able to. I was in a wheelchair, so I when I regained the strength, my normal strength, which was pretty miraculous, pretty incredible. I felt like I wanted to express myself in the ultimate way possible, just combining dance and music and the violin, and that's sort of what I did. You can see a bunch of videos online of what I did there.
Yes, I see them. They're wonderful. Yeah, they're great. And then you're welcome. And then what are you most proud of in your musical accomplishments?
I'm gonna say actually probably surprising to your listeners, as opposed to what you might expect, like the venues and the television specials and the celebrities I've been able to play with and for the musical compositions like Atlantis. I'm really proud of those compositions that I believe are they're unique, and I think that they're cutting edge in terms of blending classical and contemporary genres. I think that they go places that I haven't really heard other producers go, and I just hope to share that music with as many people as possible.
Yes. And then what advice would you like to give others based on your personal experiences?
Well, if you're in a position like mine where you're able to connect with people or inspire people, and that's something I've been privileged to do because I chose music and being an artist, one of the many blessings in this career. Try not to put yourself on a pedestal, on a stage, literally and figuratively. I'm going to say more figuratively than literally, because if you're an artist, you're on a stage. But use your platform to really not just feed your ego. That's not what it should be about. It's something that I unfortunately see a lot of artists doing. Use your platform to inspire and to make people happy, give them joy. It's something I've tried to, and I'm going to say I've been successful at connecting with fans across the country, in particular, in a meaningful and a deep way. When they send you a DM, take the time to respond to them. And if they send you an email and they tell you, okay, I really appreciate this about your music, and I'd like that. I'd like some adjustments here or there. Like take their critical feedback seriously, and they are your not just your listeners, they're your customers in a sense. So if you're in the musical world, that's just a little bit of advice. Another piece of advice, just because of my unique circumstances, is having lost and then regained the strength to pursue my career. I want to just say that it's really important to find joy in life, to find what it is that you're passionate about, and truly something that truly inspires you, because whatever it is that you do professionally, you're going to work your ass off, and you're going to work, and you're going to have to work endless hours, and that's just been my experience. That's been the experience of the people around me. So find what it is that makes you truly happy, and I think the rest will be kind of fall into place.
It's wonderful. Thank you for that advice. And then, what were some of your greatest challenges encountered in this music career?
Well, I think without a doubt I mentioned that with respect to losing the strength in my legs and my arms. That was definitely the biggest challenge. I've faced many other challenges, such as financial challenges over the years that I've managed to just, with this pretty stick-to-itive attitude, to use data-driven information and knowledge from my marketing strategies and my events, and I've kept really good records, and that's something that I've used to kind of circumvent those challenges. I think a lot of people face that. Also, just not really knowing how to navigate legal stuff in music, and as well as management, who to really trust in management, or to manage your career, that type of stuff. So, whole host of challenges.
Okay. And then, what types of composers or performers inspire your own compositions?
Well, like I mentioned before, folks like John McPompey, people in the bluegrass / fusion jazz genre, Chick Corea, Bella Fleck, these types of musicians. Obviously, pop music's been a major influence also when I do covers. I've really garnered. I've taken influences from many different genres. As you'll hear in my music, I cover the gamut from Broadway to classical. So I can't say I've just been influenced just by like 5 or 6 artists, but those have been like the initial, the pivotal, I don't know, most influential in my productions and my compositions.
Okay, and then
also mentioned David Garrett.
I'm sorry, I didn't hear you.
Yeah,
could you please repeat that?
I also mentioned David Garrett. He's also big. He's a crossover violinist. He's also influenced me quite a bit.
Okay, And then what advice do you have to other aspiring entrepreneurs or musicians?
Well, what I mentioned before, find what it is that you're truly joyful about. Use data-driven, strategy to help grow your business or whatever it is that you want to do, and make sure that you're fully passionate about it. Because if you're not, you're just going to sort of lose motivation. And I find that also using finding a mentor in your particular career path is helpful and useful. I've done that myself, and I've found that little tidbits of advice can be pretty useful. And also, just testing and trying different things. Not just sticking to a routine if it isn't working. So there's just a few little bits of advice.
Okay, and then I was curious as to what type of support system that you have. Personal support system. Personal
support system in terms of what, like financial or
family, friends.
I thought you meant like people supporting me. I'm the one supporting. Yeah, I have two beautiful kids. Really blessed, and that's part of what's actually impacted my career in different ways. I've had to make calculated decisions in terms of how big to get or how many risks to take, whatever. I've had to limit different projects because kids are going to be young for a short period of time and then it's over. So a lot of people they prioritize their career until they're 50 and then they deal with kids. I chose the opposite, and I'm glad I've made this decision. It's quite a juggling act, but that's what I got, and I'm happily married.
Wonderful. Excellent. And the last question is, what is your favorite coffee or hot beverage?
That's a good one. So the closest I've gotten to coffee is dark chocolate, because if I actually drink coffee, I'd probably be this jittery mess. It doesn't work for somebody like myself with an inflammatory condition, or adrenal insufficiency for that matter. But beverage, well, I'm gonna knock your socks off with this one. Fiji water. That's most of the most beverage I'm gonna get. Yeah.
Okay. Great. That's so wonderful. That's a different answer, but I love it because it still falls under the beverages. But Asher, I wanted to thank you again very much for your very outstanding interview with me and with our audience, and your expertise, and just reading your bio was just so impressive and inspiring. And so I did read quite a bit of it to the audience prior to inviting you into the studio to talk with me. But I just want to thank you again. Okay. And I'm actually going to say goodbye. You're welcome. Bye-bye for now.
Okay. Have a good one.
Same to you. Okay, everyone. That was wonderful, Asher. Isn't he great? And I'm just so thrilled to have had him for a guest, as I told him. And if you have a chance, please go to his website. It is found.Asher Laub, spelled ASHERLAUB.com/home. Okay, and then it's a landing page that directs you guys, all the listeners, to the preferred site to consume some of Asher's latest releases, his catalog of music, daily social media reels, posts, music videos, interviews, and more. I also would love to encourage all of you out there who are taking the time to download the show to please follow the show as well and share. We also have our YouTube channel up and running. The name of the YouTube channel is Coffee Chat with Camille. And I'm not sitting in a studio space with my guests at this time, but eventually I will be. But you're able to just find, for a lot of folks around the world, it's easier sometimes for you to find us, find whomever on YouTube, right? So we did go ahead and create a channel, Coffee Chat with Camille channel. All right. And then I also want to finish reading Asher's bio because I read just a little bit to you all. I read up to where his performance venues were. So they were Madison Square Garden, Hammerstein Hall, Lincoln Center, and the Jacob Javits Center. His diverse multicultural repertoire has garnered acclaim across 4 continents. Asher's high-energy shows have been featured live on PBS and have made headlines on major media outlets such as CNN, WABC, NBC, and the New York Post. In 2014, Asher lived a musician's nightmare when he was confronted with health challenges that impacted his mobility. Refusing to accept defeat, he rebuilt his musical prowess to a new level. This harrowing experience inspired him to reinvent himself as a dance violinist. In only a few months, Asher learned to merge hip-hop, pop, EDM, rock, and other genres with breakdancing and acrobatic choreography. His live performances now reflect his unstoppable spirit and joy. With a growing fan base, Asher is working to influence societal norms and conventional thinking about musical performance, also helping to break down social and physical barriers. His latest single, Atlantis, released by Cobalt Music Group, has been described as a high-octane hit and can be streamed via iTunes and all other major platforms. Asher is currently in the Asher is currently in the studio working on releasing his new original album. Okay, and then I do have a little bit about Asher. A little bit more, rather, I'm going to add on here. Asher's fan base is about 100,000, with 45% from the USA, UK, Canada, across social media. He's been a featured soloist across 4 continents on PBS 3 times and at major concert venues, including Madison Square Garden, Carnegie Hall, Lincoln Center, and many others, as I mentioned before. For references, I gave you all the first link, but there's another one. It's www.A S as in Sam, HERLAUB as in boy.com, and it's /about. But actually, I'll leave this other reference link in the description of this show. And let's see, he also has other social media handles as well. But I'm sure, because I did it, if you just Google his name, you'll be able to find out a lot more and listen to his wonderful music, his great dance performances. He's really a very special musician. His harrowing story of losing his music career to adrenal insufficiency and subsequent recovery is one that listeners may find inspiring. As an independent artist, Asher has found ways to monetize his music career by both pushing conventional boundaries in composition and implementing creative strategies that inspire fans to keep consuming his unique music. So again, Asher is an electric, professional, or classical electric violinist. Okay, you can find him on Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, Twitter, and TikTok. Okay, so also I think I try to do this. I'm trying to make it a habit. The name of this show is Who is Asher? L-A-U-B. The electric violinist, composer, producer, and live performer. Okay? So I want to thank you so much for listening to the show. And please, again, share, support our musicians and our artists because what they're doing is so uplifting to the world. And they give so much of themselves the way Asher does. They give so much of themselves to us all. And I really appreciate you listening to our show, or my show, excuse me. I don't always like to say my because I do get some help, you know. And so I thank any and everyone who helps me with ideas and just getting through getting the production done, you know. So at any rate, I just started laughing thinking about the fact you said Fiji water. Wow. That's the first time I heard that one. But, you know, we all know H2O is the answer, right? It is what our body needs the most, any which way we spin it, but it's good to have just pure water. So that was a wonderful answer that Asher gave. And isn't it something? He's a family man, and I believe he's in, I think in New York. And I want to say New York is really, for me, I love New York City. I'm an artist, and so I had the opportunity to visit many of the amazing museums, in particular the Guggenheim. But New York City is concentrated. For me, it was easy to get around, unlike California, where everything's kind of spread out here. In truth, everyone was so friendly. And excuse me. And so I love New York. I love New Yorkers. And upstate is a little different. I used to live in Schenectady with my dad. And I was like way back a long time ago at this point. But upstate is beautiful also. And what I really loved is that it has its own full seasons, unlike California. That kind of, I don't know what California does seasonal-wise. It's like, we don't get snow usually, but there are places that have snow, right? So you can drive your car over to the snow. But it doesn't just snow all over the place, you know, like New York does. So, at any rate, I'm all off topic here. I just want to say I love New York. I love New Yorkers. And I am quite thankful to Asher for being my magnificent musical guest today. And I want to thank you all again for listening. You can find me on YouTube, Coffee Chat with Camille, on Twitter, Coffee Chat with Camille, on, what's the other one? TikTok, Coffee Chat with Camille, on Facebook, Coffee Chat with Camille. So, and then just Google me and you'll find the show. And I'm also on Apple, Spotify, and all your streaming platforms, okay? Have a wonderful Tuesday and a blessed week, folks. Thank you again for listening. Bye for now.